Morning. Hello, everybody. How's your Friday mornings? Feeling good? Yeah, I do this stream every Friday morning because I don't work on Fridays. You know, most people don't know that I actually have a work schedule. That even if you're working for yourself, freelancing or what, having a fixed work schedule is so important. If not, then all your work and stuff is going to go all over the place. Even making YouTube videos, I have a schedule. You know, everything needs to be run like a business, clockwork, so that you stay on track all the time. And for me, Fridays, I don't work. Why? Because if I intend to work Fridays, if I intend to work 5-day weeks, I might as well get myself a job. Okay, welcome wherever you are. Welcome to. Oh, let's see if I can. How do I make the chatting not go away? 표시됩니다. Okay. And this is a beautiful autumn morning here in Istanbul. Take a look. This is my favorite weather, by the way. Lots of cloud, no sun, no direct sunlight. Look at that, no yellow color direct sunlight. Wow, this is best. You can see the trees are starting to turn color. See the lemon orange, lemon yellow leaves. Those lemon yellow leaves will soon fall away. Some of the trees are already half dead. Color's not that nice though. Honestly, the most beautiful I've ever seen is still in Korea because they plant trees of the same color together always everywhere, so it looks very nice. Some sunlight coming through. Those pines there, quite honestly, this is not like really morning here in Istanbul. This is almost 11 a.m. and this is how much I sleep. No, if you guys have been following me on my anti-aging videos, right? You know I sleep between 8 to 11 hours a day. So usually I sleep at about midnight after US market close, and I usually wake up about 10 to 11. So today I woke up, not just today, actually recently, because of my new yoga practice and meditation, so it's taking up more time in the morning. So I woke up at 9:30 and then do my yoga and then my morning meditation, and then that's about an hour plus. After that, it's already, so that would be about 10:30. I make myself coffee, slowly set this up 11 a.m. So to me, mornings are not very early mornings. It's very late mornings. So how do you do that? I love to be asleep more. Oh, I made an entire video. Yoshi, you can search my channel for, just type in, go to my channel, click on the search and just search sleep. I have a lot of videos I made about sleeping, and one of these videos is about how to sleep more. So you can check out that video. I know a lot of people have problems sleeping more, but on the other hand, I probably should make a video about this. Sleeping a lot more than you're used to is not a good thing either. Actually, if you sleep more than you're used to, or if you force yourself to sleep more than you should, then you end up getting eye bags and you actually look very haggard if you try to force yourself to sleep more. So sleep is a rhythm that you really have to find for yourself. But of course, scientifically, if you can sleep more, you generate more HGH, which is human growth hormone, and therefore you stay younger for a longer period of time. And for me, the good thing is this, because I eat only one meal a day, yeah? So missing the entire morning makes me not miss wanting to eat breakfast. So that helps me in this sense, But not that I feel hungry though. I don't really feel hungry. Even right now, I don't feel hungry. See, right now I'm just having a coffee with nothing. I don't feel hungry. But I don't want to subject myself to the temptation of eating breakfast. If you ask yourself, right, when you wake up in the morning, you don't usually wake up roaring hungry, do you? You never. Nobody wake up roaring hungry, because the moment you wake up, you have one whole night of energy rejuvenation within your system. So usually people wake up feeling very full. You're never hungry when you just wake up. That's why, if you're a parent, in the morning, you literally have to force your kids to eat, right? Not, and most of the time they secretly just throw the toast away, right? Now they don't want to eat because they don't feel hungry when you're forcing them to eat. Yeah, that's the reason. So usually people do not need breakfast, but why people eat breakfast? Because it's very comforting. Yeah, because it feels good, and if you don't do it, you feel compelled to do it. So it's more a temptation, more a compulsive behavior that have been passed down for many generations. You guys know, right, that we inherit a lot of genetic compulsions from our forefathers. Literally, your grandfather and your great grandfather are still living through you. You still have their nose, you still have their eyes, and they're still handling down their old habits and compulsions in you right now. This is why in the yogic culture, in yoga, is all, they call this karma. So karma is not something where you do good. Some god is up there judging, oh, you're a bad guy, make bad things happen to you. Good guy, make good. No, it's not that. No, karma is compulsive behavior, unconscious compulsive behavior that have been handed down, either handed down or created by yourself, which you cannot control. And because you cannot control, it leads to outcomes that you cannot control. And those outcomes can be good or bad depending on the nature of the karma, which leads to people thinking that there's some god saying that, oh, bad people, you have bad karma, make bad things happen to you. You're good. You've been a good boy this year, so I give you good karma, I give you good things. No, it doesn't work like that. Huh? It's all physical. It's all scientific, actually. So people take all these scientific things and make it very religious or spiritual or mystic. I think that's the problem in the world today. That's why humans don't grow, because anytime you move out of the realm of logic and science, you're sabotaging yourself. That's why on my video, even though everything that I label as spirituality, everything that I say under the label of spirituality are all science. Nothing are mystical beliefs or superstition. No, I don't subscribe to mystical beliefs or superstition. You know why? Because mystical beliefs and superstitions do not help you in your daily life. That's the problem. You know why lately, a lot of kids, especially in America, a lot of kids don't like to go to church. Oh, thank you for enjoying my videos. Like lately, if you compare my videos, right? My anti-aging videos are always like have the most views, and my spiritual videos are very low. Actually, to be honest, like my latest videos about purpose of life ranks very low, but those are exactly the kind of things that I feel are the biggest realizations and gains through my life story itself. Those are what I deem within myself to be the most precious thing I have to share the world. I deem those more precious than my options trading knowledge, because options trading knowledge is generic. It's something anyone can just pick up and learn. But these realizations about life is unique to me because of my experience. I have a very unique life and very unique experience which generated all these realizations, which I think are more important to share the world to people who did not have my experience and realizations than options trading or investments or money. I've actually been following you since you were living in Korea. Wow, thank you. I must say I prefer your spiritual videos compared to the ones before. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Ali, for seeing the point. Thank you, Ali, for appreciating the real me. The real me is all about these things. Most of the things I post on video are just things I think can help people, which means there are things that are not the real deep me, but just very surface things which I think people might want to know or that can help them, including the purpose of life videos. Do you know that so far 4 parts of the purpose of life videos, they are just very surface level of things. So surface, they are not the real realization. They are not like my real realizations about the purpose of life, but just a scientific filter of surface layer, which I hope can help people to break limiting beliefs, to find liberation, in their life situations. That's all I know. But honestly, it goes way deep. And if I start to go into those realms, honestly, I think those videos will be like 1, 2, 3 views only. I love your anti-aging videos and meditation. Yeah, yes, exactly. Exactly what Yoshi is saying. This is what I try to do. I keep things practical. Practical meaning applicable to real life, and people can use what I say in this video to improve their life. But of course, I may move away from this direction soon. You guys may be wondering, like, why lately I used to post like one video a week, sometimes one video a month. But why am I posting like every day right now? I don't know why, but I'm feeling the impetus to, as quickly as possible, offload all my life experiences onto video form so that they last beyond my time. I don't know why, but yeah, so very soon I may start to go into videos talking about my deeper realizations, even my meditation system. If after right now tomorrow or today I will post stage 3. The whole meditation system is 6 stages. In fact, I think I can stretch it to stage 10, but beyond stage 5, you will find the whole thing goes into very mystical realms. That after stage 5, you will find that whatever we do in stage 1 to 5 of the story world meditation system is really just preparing your brain, your spirit and energies in a way that you're ready to go deeper. And the deeper is the point, actually. But of course, because the way I designed the meditation system, even the surface levels, which is the stage 1 to stage 5, helps your life tremendously as long as you just do it. That's why they say the good thing about human is this. Most of us are happy and fulfilled just handling everyday life things. Actually, handling everyday life things are very surface and very relatively simple, or to be honest. The real hard thing comes when you realize that everything on the surface eventually means nothing, or that you realize the impermanence or the illusionary nature of everything in the surface, and you need to get deeper answers. That's when the journey becomes more truly fulfilling but much harder. And not everybody needs to go there. Maybe 1 out of 100 people who approaches the topic of meditation goes there, but I would say 99% don't go there. So that's why I don't make I'm very hesitant making videos that goes too deep, Okay, let me see. I'm actually in quarantine in South Korea. Oh, wow! You're actually in quarantine? Because hold on, let me switch the camera back. So because you're going for studies? But anyways, you can go to my video, okay? Go to my channel. Go to the live streaming section. There's one video I made which is 18 hours long, okay, that I took during my quarantine in Singapore last year for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, I live streamed my entire quarantine 24 hours a day, and that is just an 18-hour snippet, okay, of what I did to really no boredom, to really my life was so packed and so fulfilling during my quarantine period because of the way I structured my daily routine. Dig for that video and see what is in my daily routine. See how to make a daily routine like this and stick to it. And then you can watch the video to see how I actually do it. All day long, morning to night, I'm never bored. So packed, so fulfilling every day. Okay, Alicia? That's what I would recommend for quarantine. Quarantine is a great time for growth. Quarantine is a great time for you to make breakthroughs because you are given a very safe environment where nobody disturbs you and you're provided for everything from food to lodging. That is the time you make a lot of breakthroughs. Even in meditation or whatever, in spiritual or in or even physical. During my 14 days quarantine in Singapore, I made use of the time to really go into keto diet and exercises to reduce my body fat, and I made a lot of breakthrough in that 14 days. I literally finished my quarantine. I finished my quarantine in Singapore 14 days. The when I walked out of the door, I was weighing less, fitter, more muscular, and better in every way compared to when I first stepped into that room. And that should be how your life is at any time. That when you start something, you want to make sure that you finish it in a better state than you started it. And that's how I always do things. I start quarantine, I make sure that by the time I step out of quarantine, I'm a better person than when I stepped in. When I eventually leave Istanbul, I want to make sure that which I already am in so many ways. I want to make sure that I'm a better person than when I first came to Istanbul, and I already am. So in so many ways, so blessed for this experience here. And I did not even consciously or intentionally plan to be here. In fact, right now I should be in Singapore. I went to Singapore, I did 14 days of quarantine. What the hell am I doing here in Istanbul? Yeah, because during that 14 days, I got into trouble with the hate media of Singapore. Basically, the state-sponsored hate media got the whole nation hating against me, and I was on headlines every day for just one passing comment. They take that comment and then they twist it, they resentence it, and they make me look like a devil. So I was literally chased out of Singapore. After I left Singapore immediately after the 14 days quarantine, and I just came to Istanbul with no winter clothes, no cold weather clothes, jackets. I have to buy everything new here because I was expecting to be tropical Singapore, so I didn't prepare any 4-season clothing. But again, the thing, like I always say, you just flow with life. You just have to accept it and flow with life. You see, right now, everybody, if whatever happened to me over the past year happened to a normal person, you'll be so bitter. You'll be telling this so-called bitter story every chance you have, And after I come to Istanbul, what happened? I was supposed to fulfill my dream as a world champion fighter, right? And someone irresponsible broke my shoulder. I broke my scapula and my rotator cuff, and right now I require surgery before I could even do one punch anymore. Basically, I'm handicapped right now. But do you see me like complaining and becoming bitter every day? No, I just flow. If I cannot be in Singapore, okay, no problem. I flow. I come to Istanbul. Oh, if I cannot be a fighter right now anymore, I can't fight. No problem. I flow into yoga. What's the problem? Flow with life. Okay, this is how you live a stress-free life. Flow with life. Why you want to resist life? Why you want to resist the fact that Singapore hates you and you still want to fight against them? Why do you want to resist the fact that someone break my shoulder and still I want to be a fighter? I want to get back at the guy. No, why do I want to do that? I just flow. I can't do this, I do that. I can't go left, I go right. I always get better every time. That's why you see, I've been through so much shit, and I've been through a lot of shit in Korea as well. But do you guys see me complain about anything? Do you guys ever see me like sulk and like just overall feeling like a victim? No, never. I because why not? For those of you who are here, right? Let me teach you. You guys know what mantra is? When you do certain spiritual practice, you chant some kind of mantra, right? Let me teach you the most powerful mantra in the world. The most powerful mantra in the world that will allow you to live a stress-free life that I do, not because of external thing, but because no matter what shit happened to me, which I just told you guys how much shit I've been through just to be here, right? No matter how much shit, happened to you, you just chant this mantra, and your stress will go away. Are you ready? Only if you say you're ready, I'll give away this mantra because it's that powerful. If nobody appreciates this mantra, then I wouldn't say it. I don't want to go give away for free, you know. So unless you really need it, I won't give it away. My secret mantra that allows me to be chased away from my own homeland, Singapore, and then here in Istanbul get my shoulders broken, and still I'm not bitter, I'm not stressed up, I'm not hating the world because of this one mantra. Okay, since only one person, but anyways, if I can help one person, I help one person, okay? The mantra is this. In Korean, at least, actually this mantra is more powerful said in Korean. Do you understand Korean language, Ali? Do you understand Korean language? Because if I say in Korean, immediately it should hit your heart straight. But if I translate, oh, okay, you understand Korean, okay, great. Because if I translate to English, a lot of the nuance is gone and it doesn't hit as hard, okay? This is the mantra. Whenever shit happens to you in life, like you're chased away from your own hometown, you're on TV every day and people bash you, and then irresponsible people hurt you, cripple you. I'm crippled, I'm disabled right now, okay? You chant this mantra. 그럴 수도 있다. 그럴 수도 있겠지 뭐. Just say this. 그럴 수도 있다. And then you will pass. And then you won't give a fuck anymore. Try it right now. Like, if something happened, okay, let's say we take something very mundane, okay? Wow, Ali, you felt it, right? You see, wow. You felt it. You felt the power of this mantra. You felt the power. And the power of this mantra can only be delivered by Korean language. I cannot find an equivalence in any language. If I translate this, the power is gone. Really. Especially I tried in English. It just felt different. It just felt that it lost the power. Someone cut the queue in front of you, and you feel like this thing rising up, right? Yeah, you felt it, right? I told you this is a fucking powerful mantra. Those of you who never asked for the mantra, then I'm not translating for you guys because you never asked for it. Only Ali asked for it, and good thing Ali understands Korean, so he or she received the power of the mantra in full. Wow, I'm so happy that you felt the power of this mantra. It's so simple, right? Someone cut the queue in front of you and you feel the anger rising. If you're training in martial arts and someone broke your shoulder, oh, it's painful. You're chased away from your homeland. Yeah, I think in fact it's more powerful if you say it in Korean. Yes, it's only powerful because you say it in Korean. Wow, how do I translate in Japanese? Yeah, let me try to stretch my Japanese a little bit. Hold on. How is life in Turkey? Oh, Turkey is amazing. But let me try to translate this mantra first before coming back to your question. The situation in Turkey. Okay, let me try to do this translation. And then we'll talk about Turkey, right? In Japanese, how would I say this? I can't translate anything close in Japanese. I can't translate. But if I really want to translate in English, like if I force an English translation, it would sound something like, well, it happens, but it lacks that impact. If someone cuts the queue in front of you and you feel anger rising, well, it happens. But honestly, it lacks the impact. Ali, can you feel the difference? Can you feel the difference between and you compare if it happens, the power is gone, no? I don't know, to me I feel like the power is completely gone. But for those of you who do not understand Korean, yeah, it doesn't have the same power, right? Yeah. This is really yeah, and shish, I've been in Turkey for 10 months so far, almost a year. So yes, I've tried pretty much every Turkish cuisine, and I made a few videos about my favorite Turkish cuisine as well, so you can check it out on my channel. My favorite Turkish cuisine is mantı. Oh, mantı is my go-to favorite with some çorbası, tomates çorbası with mantı. Oh, that's my best, but my favorite. Yeah, but Ali, it doesn't feel the same, right? With it happens. It's just different. The power is different. Oh, baklava is a dessert. So I usually don't talk about dessert as part of cuisine, but yeah, I'm not a dessert person. I don't like sweet things. I don't know why. All my life I don't like sweet things. So I don't drink cola. I don't drink anything sweet. No, even my coffee is no sugar, no milk, no nothing. I don't like sweet things, But I know, like here in Turkey, the dessert culture is big. Tea break culture is big, and it's cheap compared to London. London English people like tea breaks, but it's expensive. Here it's so cheap, so everybody spends like 2-3 hours every afternoon during their tea breaks. Okay, hold on. And you see, everybody says, like, everybody pulls out the COVID data about Turkey and show me and try to tell me how bad Turkey is. Honestly, you don't feel it here at all. People don't even bother to wear masks anymore because here almost everybody, at least in where I stay, almost everybody is vaccinated. With so many hospitals around, and honestly, nobody even bother to wear masks anymore. All restaurants are open. No restrictions. There's no restrictions about anything. Life is perfect here. My real life here is perfect. But everybody tries to give me the story world about how bad Turkey is. Now you see the distinction, right? If you do not know what I'm talking about, story world and real world, please, everybody watching this right now should watch my story world. Are you living in a story world or real world video? I am very sure 100% that this video will change the way you look at life, okay? It will improve your life. See, right now, if I spend all my life in the story world of Turkey, how bad COVID is and everything, I will live in misery. Because why? Because I would self-isolate myself from everything. When the real life of Turkey here, boom, you take away the internet, nobody knows there's such thing as COVID. You take away the media, take away the internet, all these evil things that are building your story world, life here in Turkey is completely normal. You don't feel nothing. There's nothing. It's beautiful and stress-free. There's nothing bad going on. It's all in the story world. Oh, no more messages coming in. Yeah, no, the thing is, I think this applies to pretty much every country, as long as your country is not in deep lockdown. Because if you are deep lockdown, you feel it, right, in the real world. But if you apply story world and real world thinking to pretty much wherever you are, you'll find that wherever you are is actually heaven. Always paradise. Always a stress-free paradise where if you look at, see, right now my real world is just this wall. This is the real world. Nothing is real beyond what I can see and touch here right now. Right now, this is science. This is not spiritual thing or religion thing. This sofa is real. This room here is real. That sky I see here is real. In what I can see in this real world right now, where is the COVID? Where is the death and fear and nothing? It's not here. This is paradise right here. And I bet your real world is a paradise as well. But you have not trained your brain to stay away from the story world and realize the paradise of the real world. And that requires training, which is why I started the story world meditation system, which you can use to train your brain to reject the story world and inhibit the real world. Yes, the real world is presence. But Yoshi, the real world is a little bit different from presence. The presence you talk about will be covered in stage 7 to 10, because presence and the you can be in the real world and not fully present. Yes, but at least you're not in the story world of pain and suffering. So Yoshi, just to build on what you know, presence and basically the understanding of and feeling of presence and the whole karmic structure comes in much later stage of my meditation system. Because if you do not know how to inhibit the real world and real life benefit right now, then there's no point going deeper. Yeah, always get the real life benefit first, feel the transformation in your life first before venturing deeper. And you will see I will eventually get to those parts. Okay, which is right now, that's why I see past and future is the story world, but it is in my structure, past and future is not the story world. The story world is built out of a lot of things. It's not just your own thinking about past and future, but an entire impression or structure of the world that has been given to you by the media, by other people, by your fathers, by your culture, everything. So basically, Yoshi, how to understand this is this: when you're just awake in your bed, okay, the reality is you only feel yourself lying on a soft thing in a space. How do you immediately know where you are? The moment you wake up, actually there is a small gap where you don't actually know where you are, maybe just a few microseconds. And then in that few microseconds, your brain starts to build up the entire world as you know it, as other people has given to you. Oh, I am in this house in this country, and this is happening in this other place in the world. I'm on this planet called Earth. Earth is round, even though you never actually see it round, and it belongs to the solar system, which again you never saw it personally either. It's all these are built up in your brain by the media, by the education system, and into this thing called the story world. This is what the story world is. It's not just your thinking about past and future. All right. So that's why right now I think a lot of people is skipping this step and going into the deep spiritual dimension, which to me is jumping the gun, because you have yet to realize and be able to use the benefits of the more surface steps first. Deconstruct and understand the difference between the story world and the real world, and then be able to, it's not just thoughts, Yoshi. That's why it's very important that if you started this journey, the Eckhart Tolle way, you start from a dimension where basically it's all about thoughtfulness or thoughtlessness. But actually, when you do that without a strong understanding of the mental structure that you have, that is actually necessary. You cannot go around thoughtless and still be able to survive in the real world and do real world things without a lot of internal struggle. I'm sure if you practice so-called presence without everything that I teach you to do in this story world meditation system, you'll find that from moment to moment, from day to day, in your work and in life situations, you find yourself struggling to so-called maintain the presence. You keep forcing yourself to go inwards. You keep forcing yourself to distance yourself from life situations. That is not actually the purpose of the Eckhart Tolle teachings. The Eckhart Tolle teachings is actually a very deep and more advanced teaching, because when you fully capable of, I'm not even saying that are you doing it or not, but are you capable of doing it or not? If a person capable of fully realizing the presence from moment to moment, you will feel no such struggle in the first place. You won't struggle against, oh, here is unconscious person barking against me. Now I need to stay conscious in order to that becomes a fight. That becomes duality. And when you're in duality, you cannot be in presence. You see the irony and the paradox of this whole thing, but it cannot be explained. It can only be experienced, and you can only experience that by a structured approach. Because in the end of the day, the problem is this. It's not that you don't know how to do it. It's not that you're unwilling to do it, but because we are incapable of doing it with an untrained psyche. And also, you're unable to stick to most of the fine prints of it if you do not understand how the mental construct works. Basically, the mental construct and the karmic construct, these two added together forms every compulsion and so-called the pain body and everything. But if you do not understand the nature of how they work, but simply reject it as the pain body, then you find yourself fighting against this thing all the time. And whenever there's a fight, there is duality. And whenever there's duality, there is a lack of presence. You see the paradox? But of course, I have never taught anybody about all this. I realized all these things myself. I never taught anybody about all these things or talked about these things in a structured manner. So the way I talk about it may be very unstructured either. So I'm just pulling information out from my subconscious mind as I speak. So it may not be very structured or very logical or very convincing, but I hope it helps. Same, so many thoughts. Yeah. The thing is, you don't have to turn them off. Because it's impossible. The more you try to turn off a thought, the more the thought persists. The more I tell you to not think about monkeys, that monkey is exactly the only thing you will think about. Like I said, if you go to meditation, do your meditation today, don't think about a pink unicorn. Oh, I guarantee you're gonna see your fair share of pink unicorns. Yes or no? So this is the problem. So you cannot force your mind or brain to do something it's not trained to do. This is why monks and yogics, they spend 10-20 years training basic meditations skills before they learn the deep spiritual practice. Why? Because you need to train your brain to be able to perform certain functions. Okay, that's why I keep saying this is not not religious or spiritual thing at all. No, it's science. You cannot make your brain do something it's not trained to do. Okay, have you guys played a game before where they show you a picture which you don't know what the hell the picture is? It's just jumbled, and then you have to look at it in a certain way, and then it becomes a 3D picture and then you start to see a 3D picture rise out of the paper. Have you guys seen this kind of pictures before? Where you see a picture, it's all jumbled. You don't know, you can't see what it is, but if you focus it in a certain way, a 3-dimensional picture rises up from the paper. Yeah, okay. Some people can see it, some people cannot. Why? The difference is your brain. Some people's brain are not trained to work that way, while most people's brain instinctively already can work that way. So it's a form of brain training. And so people who could not see it could train their brain to see it eventually. It is a science, So that's why in meditation, there's nothing spiritual. It's all science. Even whatever Eckhart Tolle says, it's all science. It's all deep science. Okay? But it sounds spiritual because you jump the steps, the preparatory steps, and go straight into something, then it sounds like magic. It's like if you don't understand how electricity works, I turn on the light bulb, it looks like magic. But if you understand the physics of electricity and how it works, then it's no longer magic. It's the same thing, okay? So you have to train your brain created the story world. Your brain See, if you watch my Purpose of Life series, right? The purpose of life is collection of data by experience. Okay, if you don't know why, please watch. I don't want to go into deep explanation, right? But the brain is capable of so much more things than just collecting data. But collecting data like the hard disk forms the basis of every single other capabilities that is capable of. Everything you are capable of creating comes from memory, all your past knowledge and everything, right? So this is just summary, okay? If you guys want to know more, please watch the video. I cannot explain everything here. Now, because of that capability, the ability to create largely depends on the ability to imagine. And imagination means creating a mental construct. And based on this mental construct, your brain is creating everything called a story world, which consists of past, present, future, and all available information. So in this sense, Eckhart Tolle got it right, but he's not complete in explaining the structure, because perhaps this level is more intermediate or beginner level kind of thing, because Eckhart Tolle really jumped all the way straight to the advanced so-called spiritual level, but it's not actually spiritual, it's still science. But because he jumped straight into the all of the matter, it sounds like spirit, it sounds like magic, it sounds like metaphysics, but it's not. No, it's all science. Okay, the thing is, you can't turn off thoughts, you can't focus on things. Yeah, no, the thing is this, you can never turn off thoughts. This is why you need to train your brain to get away from the story world. And you can only do that through a systematic training. And the systematic training is exactly what I offer in my story world playlist. Okay, start from the meditation or join me tomorrow. Tomorrow I will do a 3 to 3 hours meditation or live stream where I do stage 1 of the meditation. Or if you like to, you can do it with me. I will do 30 minutes of explanation before and after the practice. So it will be a 2 hours. For 2 hours, you will see me sitting there pretty much doing nothing. Okay. But it is a form of brain training. Until you can train your brain to function that way, and then going into stage 2, going to stage 3, you're slowly training your brain to distance itself from the story world, which is story and thoughts and everything, okay, to inhibit the real world, which is presence and now and the deep consciousness, okay. Then you can function at 100%, but it will not come naturally. It will not come because you're trying to force yourself. I need to turn on my thoughts. I need to turn on my thoughts, turn off my thoughts. If you do that, you're just activating more thought. That's the problem. Nobody can make the brain do anything, because the moment you try to make your brain do anything, you're activating the brain already. So it needs to be a cultivated habit. There's no other way around it. See, deep spiritual teachers like Eckhart Tolle will go to the crux of the matter, the core of the matter, and just tell you this is the problem. But in order to get to that, you need a lot of preparation and training, which they don't go into, which is the problem. Because I know, I've heard about Eckhart Tolle's training and approach, and immediately I see the problem. That I see that a lot of people are creating a lot of so-called spiritual duality within themselves, and actually distancing themselves from the truth more than they are getting closer to the truth. Wow, I think a lot of people are getting bored. I see a lot of people coming in and then leaving just because they see shit, talking about all this, these things that are irrelevant to real life, all these spiritual ghosty things. Do you guys know that even my wife, Limpeh, she asked me, what's the real life purpose of doing all this meditation? She asked me. And then I gave her a discourse. And now she knows, wow, this is the real, that this is the only thing that you can do to have an immediate real life impact. Yeah, so Mark, exactly what I'm doing, I actually bring out this to the window to show you guys Istanbul. Let me stick this out the window. I hope I don't drop this out the window. Dun, dun, dun. Very nice weather today. Very cold actually. Right now, daytime is only about 15 degrees Celsius. Okay, it's actually really cold right now. See, a lot of evergreen trees here in Istanbul. See, all these are about to turn yellow. This is already yellow. Cloudy is good. I love cloudy weathers. You know, in Istanbul, right, this is very rare, you know, because in Istanbul, throughout the whole summer, there's no cloud at all, like deep azure blue sky every day, okay? You rarely see any clouds. You only start to see clouds during autumn and winter, which is very rare. That's why during summer here in Istanbul, right, just walking out of your home, you get sunburn, man, because there's no cloud at all. The ultraviolet is extremely high. Perfect weather for barbecue. But yeah, like I said, because money stuff is too easy for me. And in fact, the thing is, I just explained just now. To me, I think, my spiritual stuff are more precious and valuable. Are more precious and valuable, unique experiences to me than business and money stuff. Why? Because business and money stuff you can learn from anyone. It's pretty much standard. But my realizations about life and how I live my spiritual realizations only came about because of my unique 18 years overseas lifestyle experience and through all the good and bad up and downs that I've experienced in my life. So that is my spirituality thing are the really unique things that I can give to the world, not options trading and business and money stuff. No, those are to me very low level things that anyone can pick up from anyone. You don't need me to teach you. A lot of other people are teaching you this, but nobody else can tell you the kind of life realizations and experience that I have, because nobody else have my experience of life. And my experience in life so far has been pretty unique, that leads to very unique realizations and things that I can share with people. Which is why, if you really want to learn about money making and business stuff is so low level, so mundane. It's not even, to me, it's not even worth talking about. So if you want to learn about my options trading stuff, okay, basically I have two legacies in my life. One is this YouTube channel where I deposit all my life experiences so that even after I die, I still exist here. Second is optiontradingpedia.com, where I deposit all my options trading knowledge. It's a free website. You can just go there and learn whatever you want about options trading. You don't need me to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about it. Just go and learn yourself. I wrote 657 articles about options trading. If you can read them all and learn them all, you don't need me to talk about it here anymore. Okay. Okay. What are your thoughts about cryptos and all these things? I don't care because I'm an options trader. Like why are a lot of chicken farmers asking why are a lot of people asking chicken farmers what they think about cow farming? A lot of people, I don't understand. I'm an options trader, okay? Why are people asking me about cows and goats and geese? I don't know. Hi, Sean. See, the thing is this, DCM, you're only concerned about money and business. See, the thing is, I'm not against money. I'm not against money. In fact, I am of the opinion that unless you achieve a certain level of success in your life and then go through the success and failure cycle at least twice, you won't be prompted enough to explore and understand more about life, and you won't come to an appreciation of the spiritual videos that I make in my video. So yeah, guys, work hard, achieve your successes, go through the ups and downs. That's fulfilling the purpose of life, by the way, which I said in a previous video. And eventually you will understand and realize the truth, how illusionary and how impermanent all these pursuits are. That's when the real spiritual journey starts for you. Yes, I meditate every day. I meditate at least 3 hours a day. 1 hour when I wake up, 1 hour before I sleep, 1 hour, and 1 hour during sunset. Yeah. And on a weekend, like tomorrow, I do a 2 to 3 hours one stretch. So on weekends, I on top of that one stretch, I still meditate morning and night. So I actually meditate like 5 to 6 hours a day on a weekend. Yeah, I meditate a lot. End of the day, if you don't achieve any of your goals, are you a failure? Well, being a failure is achieving the purpose of life as well. Being a success is achieving the purpose of life. Being a failure is achieving the purpose of life. If you understand deeply what I said in the purpose of life video, that's why I keep saying, no, my purpose of life video is actually very deep. Yes, very deep implications, and it's not as simple as I presented it. You need to deeply understand what I'm trying to say. If you do, you will realize that being so-called failure is fulfilling your purpose of life. And I can guarantee you this, my friend, especially if you're a Singaporean. A lot of Singaporeans don't understand this. A lot of people from very small countries don't understand this, because you live in such a tight society which you're so scared of failure that you usually only get one chance in life. But the truth of life is this: it's not a path towards just success or failure. It's not a one-way street, Life is up and down and up and down and up and down. On the average, you should achieve one cycle of success and failure every 10 years. So everybody by the time you reach my age, you should have been at least successful 3 times and being a failure 3 times. In fact, if you compare me with what I used to be in China, I'm a failure right now. I'm a complete fucking failure right now. Because back then I was huge. Okay. Right now I'm just a nobody. Right? So, but am I a failure? Like failure? Should I just give up life right now? Like I'm fucked up, No. You see me live like that? No. Because I deeply understand that success or failure, I'm fulfilling the purpose of life of collecting that kind of experience. Experience as a successful person, experience as a failure. It's all experience. And that's the purpose of life. You're collecting that data. So if you merely just watch my purpose of life videos once and you think you understand what I'm trying to say, I say watch it again. If you deeply understood my purpose of life video, you will find it very liberating. You'll find that you break every limiting belief that society and your parents force upon you. And you find that you live much happy life. Because in the end of the day, when you're about to die, and I have died before, again, a story I've never shared, I almost died in Korea. Not like a car missed me, no. I was on the few seconds before dying already. I made a call back to my family, my brother and family in Singapore, telling them I won't last the night. That level of near death. And then after that, I passed off. Okay. But somehow the doctors managed to revive me. That level of near-death experience I had in Korea, back when I was in Korea. And I can tell you, by the time you're there on the bed lying down and dying, success, failure, those kind of mental, moral judgments and society labels all disappear. Nothing matters anymore. Success, the same. Failure, the same. And only at that moment, suddenly you understood everything. That there is no such thing as whatever society has been telling you is a lie. There's no such thing as success. There's no such thing as failure. There's no such thing as a good life. There's no such thing as a bad life. It's all life. There's no such thing as a good experience. There's no such thing as a bad experience. It's all just experience. By the time you're 1 minute from death, all these labels disappear. And you look back, it's all just a whole bunch of experience. Whether you're rich or poor don't even matter anymore, because you don't see the money stacked up around you. But when my grandmother died, it's very weird. They actually stacked all her jewelry with her, so that she died knowing that she died pretty rich. But oh well. What do you define as a failure? As in, there's no such thing as a failure. There's no such thing. Life is a process. You go through, you start to define life as success or failure only because you're taking one one slide out of the continuous movie of life. So you're taking one slide out of the continuous movie of life and calling it this is success, this is failure. But you put all this slide in, it's just one continuous river. There's no point where you can say you're successful, and there's no point you can say you're failure, because when you're at the peak of success, you're actually on the way down, and when you're down, you're actually on the way up. So where is success and where is failure? Where does success end and where does failure begin? And where does failure end and where does success begin? It doesn't exist. William, no, Limbu is working in New York. She's very busy. Why she come to Istanbul and waste time with me? You know, a lot of people don't understand the essence of relationships, especially East Asian cultures and Southeast Asian cultures tend to think that when you're married, you're supposed to stick together. No. You're doing that, you're just building a cage for each other. I bet, you know, I have spoken to a lot of Korean housewife and Japanese housewife. You know what they tell me? They want to break away from this shit. They want to go travel themselves. They want to break away from their family. They want their freedom. Okay? Eventually, you need to respect that human beings, we are all an individual with our own life and thing. Being married to each other doesn't mean now you give up your life or I give up my life and you fuse everything together and then end up both of you don't fulfill your full purpose of life, which is experiencing the full breadth and dimension of the life that you want to experience. When you're husband and wife, you come together to experience one common area of life. It does not mean that you merge all your experience of life into each other. No, if you do that, the marriage is not going to last. And in the end of the life, you will not feel like you have fully fulfilled your purpose of life, which again is because you have not fully experienced the full width and dimension of experiences that your brain wants to collect as data. Okay. Well, I love your advice. Really sound like wise Limpeh advice. Thank you, Ariel. Thank you. How's your injury? Well, I'm fucked. I'm disabled. Sean, that's why I keep saying why we started talking about all this is I shared that right now I'm disabled. I can't even throw one punch anymore. I can't even sleep on one side anymore. I need surgery on my scapula and my rotator cuff. But am I bitter against the person who actually deliberately did this to me? No, I don't care. Krus tuita, chant the mantra. Krus tuita. I don't care. William, if a relationship need to be maintained, it's not your relationship. If you need to put a shackle on each other just to keep something going, then I would say it's a pretty shallow relationship. That's why I keep saying the relationship works between two spiritually matured person or fully matured and independent person who do not build their identity upon each other and do not depend on each other for a livelihood. And so we are both fully capable of surviving as an individual in any part of the world. She too. You put Limbu in any country in the world, she can survive perfectly. She is financially very strong and independent, spiritually very strong and independent. She is not easily discouraged. She's not easily lonely. She's not easily bored. Okay, exactly like me. That's why we attract each other. 그래서 끌리는 거야. That's why when you're weak, you tend to attract weak partners. And when you're strong, you attract strong partners. That's why if you're weak and you attract weak partners, then you're already dramatic and you attract more drama into your life. And then your whole relationship goes through all the crazy, stupid, unnecessary dramas. Which is why I keep saying that spiritually matured relationships takes time to find. That's why I only found Limbu in my 40s. That's why I keep saying don't be too eager to get landed. Don't be eager to be landed in a relationship. Don't be eager to get married. Because the right one, I'm sorry, it's not going to come in your 20s and 30s. Not because of the person, but because of yourself. You're just spiritually and personality just not there yet. You've not been through enough life to understand and build yourself up enough. Okay. Well, you can say that I'm lucky to find her, but you can also say that she's lucky to find me. But I tend to see that it's because both of us are ready, and therefore we attract each other when the right time comes. Everything in the world works automatically on its perfect timing. If you are religious, you can call it God has his own timing, which is true. God has his own timing. You can call whatever this thing God or whatever. Okay? It has its own timing, which again is why when you pray for something, 9 out of 10 times it doesn't happen, just because everything already has its own timing. If your prayer just nice hit the timing, it comes true, not because of a prayer, but because it's just the natural timing, you know. Did that one propose? No, we're married. We're married. We're a married couple. We're a married couple who is perfectly fine spending 1 year apart from each other, pursuing our own things. Do you dare show the notes there? Those notes, those are my video tips. You think those notes are money making things? Oh, you see, DCM, you keep thinking that my life is all about money. Let me show you what these notes are. Look, boom, boom, boom. Video idea. I just shared the most powerful mantra. The next purpose of life. Language video idea. Story world. Where is Eden? More video, more video, more video. This is the kind of notes I have. Okay. You see the left hand side. Okay. More videos. Okay. And what I write for option tuning video. That's all. You think all that thing there is all about money making? Oh my God. See, DCM, see, I don't know whether to pity you or what, but I guess it's just your stage in life right now that you desperately need money. That's why all you think about is money, and you think everybody is the same. That to everybody they only think about money. No. Actually, not everybody focus only on money. That's why, see, the internet and the news and everybody tells you that everybody care only about money. It's not true, Not everybody care about money. And in fact, most of the friends I have in real life, they don't care about money either. Right? Not because they're rich either, So you need to understand that only you think that way because you are in that stage of life where you need to build yourself up financially. But not everybody think that way. Not everybody's life revolve around trying to make more money. Not me. Sean, back to failures. Are there any point in your life earlier where you wanted to give up? Many times. I'll share. I've been through so much shit over the past 18 years. See, a lot of people, when they hear about me living overseas for 18 years, they imagine 18 years of a typical vacation holiday that they have ever been through. They think about their vacation, their 2 weeks vacation, and then they extend it to 18 years. They think it's like that. No. Life overseas is not anything but a vacation, okay? Life overseas is harsh. It's moment to moment, day to day survival, man. It's very harsh. And I had to go through a lot of hardship over the past 18 years. Okay? So maybe I'll share more in our future videos. Yoshi, agree. I didn't start becoming aware until my 40s. Yeah, exactly. That's why I keep saying I want to make a video saying why wisdom only starts in your 40s. But in summary, what I'm trying to say is this. You only start to become wise after you have at least been through 2 cycles of success and failure. And each cycle is always roughly about 10 years. When you are in your early 20s, you say, this is it, I want to be this. Boom, you spend about 5 to 10 years, easily you can get it. I'm telling you, success is a very simple thing. As long as you keep doing the same thing for 5 to 10 years, you'll be successful at it. That's how simple it is. But the thing is, that's when you start to fail. Inevitably, 100%. You will not stay there. And then you fail. And then that will be your early 30s, And then you start to get smart. Say, so that wasn't it. Now I have a new direction in life. This is it. Then you try again. So for 5 to 10 years, you try a new thing and you are successful again. And then you fail again. And then you come to your early 40s. This is when you look back and realize, so success and failure was not about whether something is for me or not. but that it is just the natural cycles of life, that no matter what I choose to do, I can be successful at it. And inevitably, I will also fail at it. And that cycle is due to certain things. Right now, I start to explore deeper into the real reality of this phenomena. And in order to get out of that cycle, in order to, when you're in the early 40s and you look back in your life, you start to get sick and tired of failing every time you're so close to being super successful. And then you start to inevitably see the reason is not other people, it's yourself. This is when wisdom starts. This is when someone actually goes on a real spiritual search. When you start to meditate seriously. I started meditation, all these things seriously after 40 as well. When I look back into over my life and I see that pattern, and I'm so sick and tired of the pattern, because I know if I become super successful again without fixing this, again I will fall down, and then I will find myself in my 50s back in square one. I'm sick and tired of this endless samsara cycle, which leads me to this deep exploration of meditation and spirituality, which is why the first sentence of Yoga Sutra, which is the scripture of yoga, starts from half a sentence. It's ... and now yoga. What does this half a sentence mean at the very start of the book? It means when you have tried all these things and now you know nothing works, then it's time for yoga. Yoga means a spiritual journey. Show me the money. Show me the money is a South Korean hip hop program. you are, especially in Singapore, you see this thing, no? This is something very different from Singapore and Korea. That in Singapore, even 70-year-old, 80-year-old people are still trapped in that cycle of trying to make more money and then failing, and then trying to make more money and then failing. And in their 70s and 80s, you still see them because they never realized how to break out of that cycle early in their 40s. So late in the 70s, you still see them do odd jobs and manual jobs. It's very sad. Just because Singapore is not a spiritually awakened society. But in Korea, most elderlies, they live a very good life because once they start to retire around their 50s and 60s, they become really deep into spirituality, and they start to see I see a lot of wisdom in Korean elderly people that I don't see in Singaporean people. Singaporean elderlies would still tell me very mundane and unimportant things like, oh, that 碳嘴瑞, oh, you need to make more money. A 70-year-old elderly in Singapore, whenever I talk to them, they will tell me, oh, life is, you need to make a lot of money. If you're still talking that way in your 70s, something is very wrong. That's why you're in this situation. Life is not suffering, no, Mason. Life is fun. I love my life. Why is life suffering? Life is not suffering. Life is amazing. Life is suffering when this sabotages you. When your intelligence works against you, life becomes suffering. To quote a very simple example, you guys know the amount of shit I've been through over the past 1 year, right? If life is suffering, can I be so happy now? No. But I don't want to go into those big things that over the past 1 year, I've been through two very massive traumatic events, to be honest. But you don't see it leave any imprint on me. The thing is, life is suffering when, let's say you're standing in the queue and someone cut the queue in front of you. Instantly, you feel life is suffering. Yeah? You feel the anger come out. Maybe you fight and then you get injured and then boom. But to me, when someone cut the queue in front of me, to me, whatever, maybe you're in more hurry than me. I don't care. If the guy behind me care, he can go and the guy can argue with him all in one. But to me, I don't feel nothing. How is that suffering? It's not suffering. Life is not suffering. Life is good. See, a lot of things Singaporeans cannot imagine, like retiring early or all these things. Yeah, Singaporeans live a very one-track life, one-track life with only one possibility of everything happening. It's very sad. It's very sad. You're greatly limiting your possibilities and experiences of life, and therefore you're not fully fulfilling your purpose of life, no matter what you think. You know. Yeah, the Four Noble Truths. 苦集灭道. To me, all my Buddhism knowledge are all in Mandarin Chinese. Why? Because I learned my Buddhism when I was 17 years old. I went to a Singaporean Buddhist temple and I actually studied there for 6 months. That was when I was in high school. Actually, when I was in high school, 17 years old, that's when my spiritual journey really began. When I started, suddenly one day I just couldn't stand it anymore. Because I keep asking, what the fuck is the purpose of life? And nobody could answer. That's when I went to the temple and I studied with the chief monk for 6 months. That's why all my scripture knowledge, all my Buddhist scripture knowledge are all in Mandarin. So Four Noble Truth in Mandarin is 苦集灭道. I don't want to go into this discourse, by the way. Anyway, but I study many systems of spirituality ever since. I'm not like a Buddhist or what. I'm from a Christian family, by the way. And I studied Zen as well. I studied samurai spirituality. I studied Chinese Qigong with a few Qigong masters. I studied Taoism. I studied a lot of things just to understand the core and the truth of this human life. I studied a lot of things. And so I would say the crystallization of everything that I studied is this meditation system that I created. The Story World meditation system is the crystallization of my entire spiritual life. Of course, right now I only put up to stage 3 of the system. It's a whole system, no? It's not just one meditation technique. It's a whole system of many different techniques that you do stage to stage. It's probably 10 stage or something deeper. I don't know, but I only made up to stage 4. Yeah, as a Singaporean young person, I see a lot of people blindly entering into a local U without knowing why. Yep. It's not just Singapore. It's actually, I see this more seriously in Korea, where young people are forced to go to uni or die. It's that serious. That if you don't go to uni, your life is just gone. This is much more serious than in Singapore, because in Singapore you have a lot of choice. You can go to poly, you can go to IT, and there will always be somewhere in society that people look that there's a place for you in society. But in Korea, we're not even talking about going to university, you know. We're talking about going to the top universities. You're not going to the top, forget it. If it's just normal university, your life is gone. So don't even talk about those who don't go to university. It's even worse. Asian society is very brutal. The more you go north, the more brutal it becomes. Actually, I entered U cause my parents. Yep. But let me share with you guys a good thing. If you finish your university only because your parents forced you to, because society expected you to, right? And then you finished it, please look back and be grateful. Because that degree is such a good tool if you want to be like me, venturing out of your country. Right now, I would say that if you want to live outside of your country and you want to get a job outside your country, if you're not a degree holder, just fucking forget it. Yeah. If you don't have a degree, forget living my kind of lifestyle. Forget living 18 years overseas. Unless you just go to one country and get married. Then you get stuck in one country anyway. So you're not actually doing anything. You're just jumping from one country to one more country. Jumping from the pot into the kettle. Same thing. But if you want total freedom of being able to live in anywhere that you would like, please look back and thank whoever forced you to do your degree, because you really need it. You see, I always need to manually check the comments. It doesn't actually show on my screen permanently at all. Very troublesome. Oh, can you guys hear the prayer? See, this is one thing that you hear. Can you hear the prayer in the distance? You don't need a degree to get cupcake. You don't need a degree to get self-employed. But the thing is, if you're no, of course, like see, cupcake. You always like to take one thing someone says and then take it to one extreme. No, life doesn't work that way. Okay, don't take things to extremes. There's always a lot of middle ground that if you want me to cover everything, every aspect and every middle ground that of every statement that I make, then every statement that I make needs to come with a 3 hours lecture, okay? Of course, you need to go to university to learn the things that you really want to learn. Okay, that's the ideal state. But when I'm talking about those who are forced into university against their will, they are not passionate about what they are learning. You see, now I have to spend 10 minutes trying to justify myself because one person take what I say and put it into the extreme. And that is exactly what caused me to be chased away from Singapore, because Singaporeans tend to do that. For everything I say, I need to give a 2 hours lecture just to put in all the angles, perspective, and disclaimers. Maybe I won't do that. Cupcake, I really don't want to explain myself. I think everybody who listened to what I said over the past 1 hour understood what I'm trying to say. I don't want to entertain you, honestly. It's too tiring. Oh, Andy, long time no see. Yeah, I am a Virgo. That's right, William. I am a Virgo. Okay? So you please don't make a Virgo waste the energy like that. I rather say things to benefit more people than for one person's entertainment. Education help is this. Yep. Education does a lot of things. It's a good thing. Okay. Honestly, what you said actually wasn't even offensive. Look. Yeah. Exactly. I don't know. Well. You see. But I don't care. Honestly, I'm not affected. Honestly, to me, I chant my mantra. Life don't like me this way, I go that way. To me, it's very simple. I don't let it stick, you know. If over the period of 1 year, you guys got chased away from your home country, and then in the country that you got chased to, you get handicapped by someone permanently and deliberately, can you be so happy like me right now? I went through all that and I don't really care. I was chased away from my home country because people don't understand fully what I'm trying to say. And then after that, here in Istanbul, I'm handicapped by an irresponsible person. Right now I should be beaten. Right now I should be telling sad stories every day, but I'm not. Why? It doesn't affect me, honestly. I don't care. Yeah, you always learn something from something. Yeah, there's always a good and bad, and you don't always just learn whatever is in the textbook. The whole environment itself is the environment of learning. Yeah, but anyways, I'm just only saying, for people who actually, if you aspire to be living overseas, especially as a Singaporean man, okay, this is answering one of Cupcake's question, which I will also be posting about in my video tomorrow, which is this. If you're a Singaporean man and you want to live overseas like I do, you cannot be self-employed. You need to have a job. That's why you need a degree. Because if you do not have a job, or you're not a student, you need to go back for reservist every single year. You will never have my lifestyle. So this is answering Cupcake's question, why a degree is important for Singaporean man who wants to live overseas like me. As a trader, no. You only make money, but you don't have a valid visa, you don't have a valid work permit, you don't have a valid student pass. You still need to go back to Singapore every year for reservists. This is what Singaporean women will never understand. Being held by a leash all your life till you're 50 years old. That's why Singaporean men, please, you need the degree. Don't think that you don't need the degree because you want to be self-employed. Even if you intend to be self-employed, just get the degree down and done. It will open so many opportunities and possibilities in your life. For one, if you don't have a degree, forget about living my life. Because you will need to go back to Singapore every year for reservists. That alone, you will never be able to live overseas. No matter if you're a trader, you're self-employed, doesn't matter. Or quickly serve your 10 cycles and be done with it. But 10 cycles could be upwards of 10 years, you know, so yeah, for those who can't wait. But I actually made a video which I will post tomorrow on what about reservists, what I do about reservists as an overseas Singaporean man. Okay, it doesn't affect Singaporean ladies. Singaporean ladies live a rather privileged life. Cupcake, I won't work in any of the fields of my degrees either. Okay, Cupcake, you keep missing the point. I don't even know what you're trying to say here. Everybody, am I making myself clear? Because I don't know, but Cupcake keeps missing the point. I don't want to waste my time addressing that. I'm not talking about whether you need to work in your field or not. Okay, I'm talking about reservist and living overseas. You're talking about completely different things. I don't know why. You keep making Cupcake, you keep seeing the whole world and including hearing what I say from a very limited perspective of your own experience. You're just trying to express yourself, and which I allow you to, but when I see that you're just trying to say stories about yourself regardless of what I'm trying to say, then I'm not going to respond. That's all. Huh? What's Pak Jamwe? Hey, what's Pak Jamwe? The vaccine. William, you're not following me on my Instagram. Please follow me on my Instagram. If you follow me on my Instagram, okay, you will see that I just finished my second Pfizer jab last Monday. Yeah, humble brag. Yeah, sounds like a humble brag to me either. Yeah, anyways. If I want a humble brag, right, I can brag a lot of things though. But what's the point? When what you say does nothing but strengthen your own ego and helps nobody else, then it's always better not to say it. Because any word that you say and any thought that you make that strengthens your ego brings you that much further away from being a real complete human being. Because you are building upon the false mental structure of the ego. And because of the ego, you rise. And because of the ego, you fall. It becomes a compulsive cycle that when you look back in your 40s or 50s, you start to see that your life is an uncontrollable cycle up and down. This is the cause. The more you feed it, even innocently, the more you fall back into that cycle of inevitability. It comes to the point where you just give up life, where you give up fighting anymore, because you see that even if I'm up again, so what? I'll be down again. What's the point? Bonjour, Wendy! How's the weather? I find social media very scary nowadays. Can get cancelled so easily. Yep. I got cancelled from out of my own home country, you know? Yeah. That's why Jesus said, since ancient times, real prophets are not welcome in their own hometowns. I kind of felt it firsthand. I experienced that truth firsthand. Wow, you guys so enthusiastic, so I'm gonna make myself a second cup of coffee, man. Sitting around talking without a cup of coffee, right, feels very weird. But I gotta admit, coffee is a compulsion as well. Because do I need it? No, I don't need it. Am I even thirsty? I'm not even thirsty. It's a compulsive behavior. But one that I'm just gonna keep around just for now. Coffee. Hold on, I get coffee powder. I drink bad coffee at home. Got a lot of cards to play nowadays. Oh yeah. The more you split up all these things, right? The more you play cards, the less life you experience. Remember, the purpose of life is experience, The more you limit your possible kind of experience, right? The less purpose of life you're fulfilling. I think you look younger. Thank you. Oh, you're making coffee too, Wendy. Oh man, yeah. Can't do without a daily dose of Joe. A daily. Whatever. Aren't you gonna get some good Turkish coffee? Yeah, I used to buy Turkish coffee, but Turkish coffee is something I drink from time to time, but it's just different from the kind of coffee that I'm used to. I still like just good old normal Americano better. Turkish coffee, nah. The only one habit I picked up in Turkey is what? Is tea time dessert. You know, I'm not a dessert person at all. All my life, I don't eat sweet things, you know. But if you check out my Instagram lately, right, I do my chocolate with coffee and all that thing. All these habits I picked up in Turkey. Nigga, yeah, dada. This was a great live stream. Okay, see you, Yoshi. Nigga, oh. I don't know I don't know who's black here, but saying that, I'm sure whoever it is gets very offended, but not me since I'm not black. But you know, honestly, after being hated on by you have not been hated on as much as I ever have. If you have ever been hated on by an entire country, bashing you every single day, your own home country, for an extended period of time, okay, you will be immune to this kind of small talk. I'm immune right now after having been put through a national hate media, citing an entire nation of people to hate against me. I've been through that. So whatever you guys say, come on. I don't care. You can say fuck my mother. I don't even care anymore. But when I say back to you, make sure you can take it, you know. Make sure you're spiritually matured enough to take my counters, you know. If you think you cannot take my counters, you better don't start, you know. It's just reporters trying to make headline. Exactly, you see, this is state sponsored. The thing, what shocked me most was that these are state-sponsored media designed to hate people. I thought they are just against me, you know, but after they do my episode, they hated on me, right? You know, right the next day after I left Singapore, they started the same process on a French girl in Singapore. Why do you need to find someone to hate in order to feel alive? Why? You destroy people's lives just to feel alive. But for me, I don't really care, since, you know, the thing is, I've grown enough through my 18 years in so many countries that, and also through my spiritual practice, of course, that I don't get affected that much anymore. But not everybody is like that, no. I don't know if that French girl was actually slightly less spiritually matured, you guys may have drove her to suicide, okay? It's a very bad thing to do. Need to Google what you've done. I can send you the links. I still have the links. Oh, a lot of whatever they did to me was the worst thing is they cooked up the headline. They cooked up what I say. I did not even say it like I say this is an apple. They cooked up apple is this, or apple is apple. Apple is orange. Like that, you know. They completely changed my narrative. It's very sad. They changed the narrative so that they write it in that way so that when people read it, first glance, they don't bother to read anything else. They see first glance and say, this is a fucker. But if they quote exactly what I say, you won't have that impact. It is, and the sad thing is, it is a nation-sponsored hate media. Wow. If an entire country can be like that, I don't want to be there. That's why I left Singapore, you know. That's why last year I was supposed to be in Singapore. That's why I left, you know, right after quarantine, because I'm very shocked to see what's happening in Singapore. Very shocked. The French girl who got the same hate treatment after me. She said one thing, if living in a country, I cannot make one joke or say one thing and everything I say gets taken out of context, this is no living. She said, basically what's saying that I would rather die living in a country like Singapore. Basically, that's what she's saying, Would you go back to, I don't. The only time I contact my family, I only contacted them once over the past 18 years. And that once was when I was in Korea and I was dying. I'm very certain I wouldn't last the night. That's the only time I tell them to get ready and come to Korea. Doctors managed to save me though, but I still had a near-death experience which I would share. It was very spiritually enlightening. I would share in a future video how I almost died in Korea and how that experience really liberated me. Now I'm not afraid of death anymore. If you're not afraid of death, right, you're afraid of fucking nothing anymore. I voted for what? William voted for what? Shanghai in winter was bad, but I didn't come close to dying. I only really come close to dying in Korea. In Shanghai was bad. I ran into very bad shit in Shanghai. But that was shit bad enough that it would have drove most people back to their home country. So I was in a very bad state of life with no support, no family, no friends who could help me. For most people, they would have given up their overseas living at that point, but I didn't give up. But it was not a life and death thing. Media has always been used to spread the propaganda. Bless social media, yeah. But even social media is not all true. Remember, if you have watched my Story World video, you know that all of this builds the story world. And honestly, the less you build on your story world, the better. Overall better. Of course, through my story world meditation system, you could train your brain to distance itself from the story world, so it doesn't really matter if you build it up or not. But until you reach that level where you can freely exit the story world at will anytime, it's better to keep it down, to not build on it. And social media builds on that as well. Remember, anything that other people tells you that you have not personally experienced is building the story world. Even if you think it's true, even if it feels true, but the only measure is this: did you experience it firsthand? If not, it's all a story. Actually, quite liking this session, but I need to check if my mobile phone's battery can last that long. Oh well. Maybe we'll end in 5 minutes. Okay, 1.5 hours is good enough. So any final discussions? 1.5 hours is good enough. Wow, the sun came out. Now it's a Istanbul afternoon. Boom. We started at 11 a.m. and now it's 12 p.m., 12:30 p.m. Lunch? I don't know. When it's time to eat, I'll know. See, this is again the other thing, A lot of people say, I keep saying that you don't spend time in the story world. So how do you manage the real world? How do you plan for your meals? How do you plan for this? How do you plan for that? Well, I plan when the time comes to plan. I don't plan way before. I don't start thinking about what to eat 3 hours before. You only need 1 minute to decide what to eat. You don't have to think about it 3 hours in advance. Can you show us the layout of the house? I showed the last time. I'm not about to show it again. How's your shoulder? My shoulder is bad. It's pretty much I'm handicapped right now. I can't even sleep on one side because it's a Andy watched last Friday's live stream. I actually showed the tour of my apartment last Friday. So I have a torn scapula and a torn rotator cuff, which requires surgery. So it's fucked. I have new plans for the whole week. Oh, good. If you have the plan, once you make the plan, stash it. Then you don't have to think about it either. See, the biggest problem with most people is you spend too much time thinking about and planning things all day long when you don't actually need to think about it. When you actually need very little time to plan for the very practical things in life. Very little time. Even planning for your work, you just sit down quietly, plan a 30 minutes quiet time to think about your work. You come out with all your plans within the 30 minutes. You don't need to think about it all day long. In fact, if you think about it all day long, you have nothing, no action item written down at all. It's just wasting your time. In your opinion, are friends important in life? Every human being is important in life. Inevitably, friends are not a choice. Friends happen like lovers happen. Friends go like lovers go, like family go. People will enter and exit your life all the time. Whether you label them as friends, family, whatever, it's just labels. Ultimately, it's just human beings interacting with other human beings, and human beings come and go. And all will form either what you call the social support system or as a way of keeping your energy alive. People need interaction with people to keep their energy alive. Like right now, this live stream is doing that for me. It's keeping my energy alive. Okay, so it's important, it's inevitable, and yet it's not something you could force. You know, life just happens. People just come and go, and whether you call them friends or not, or acquaintance, or people could label human beings in 1,000 million ways, but essentially, they're just people in your life, and if they're in your life, they're gonna be there to fulfill your purpose of life. It's just whether you're conscious about it or not. They're there to expand your experience. They're there to teach you things. Are you gonna get surgery for the shoulder? Nah, I don't be bothered with. I'm not bothered with this anymore. Like I said, I never challenge these things head on like this. To me, I take this as a signal that, well, I wanted to fight professionally. This happened, so I'm gonna go a different route. I'm not gonna try to get it fixed, trying to get back and more things I can do with this time. and ultimately everything is just an experience. Going a new direction, right now, doing my yoga and my meditation is giving me a whole lot of benefit, which I never would have if I did not sustain this injury. So either way is a good thing. So why fix it? When this live session, this live session is called the Limpeh Friday morning coffee chit chat time, which happens every Friday morning, 11 a.m. Turkey time. And then every Saturday afternoon, 3 p.m. Turkey time, I have the live meditation session for 3 hours. In the live meditation session, I have 30 minutes of interaction before the meditation begins and 30 minutes of interaction after the meditation. So it's 30 minutes discussion, 2 hours of meditation, and 30 minutes of discussion. And that will be tomorrow, 3 p.m. Turkey time. So I have 2 live stream sessions on Friday and Saturday. Friday, 11 a.m. Turkey time, and Saturday, 3 p.m. Turkey time. And you can go to my channel, go to the live stream tab to see all my previous live streams as well. Anything else? And Sean, just to expand on your point, it doesn't even matter if you think friends are important or not. See, important or not is a very common label. Like everybody expects human beings to classify everything in life as important or not, right? Actually, not, no. It's not a common thing. In fact, nothing in life is important or not. It just is. Are friends important? No. Are they not important? No. They are just human in your life. They are gonna come, they're gonna be there, they're gonna go when the time's supposed to go, and they're gonna serve their purpose, regardless whether you think it's important or not. All these mental constructs, all these mental labels ultimately don't matter. What you think is good or bad, important or not, pretty or ugly, high class or low class, all these mental judgment and labels and moral labels ultimately affects nothing in the real world. You think a friend is not important, it doesn't change him as a person. And on the contrary, one day he may help you in a big way. So whether you think it's important or not, it's not important. Paradoxically. Ultimately, everything is the way it is. Is this house important? It's not important. It's not important. It's just what it is. It is a house. You know? Is your wife important? She's not important. She's not important. She is just your wife. Full stop. Why do you have to label and classify everything like you are Adam, you know? Like God created Adam to label everything. And now we think we're Adam, that we have to continue to label everything. No, you're not Adam, you know. We are far fallen generation. Okay, we're not Adam. You kind of get it, yeah? Okay, great. It is what it is. There's no need to label or name anything. In fact, the more you label, the more you label something, the narrower you make your available choices in life. And when you have less choices in life, you have a narrower range of experience of life, which means that you are fulfilling more or less of your purpose of life if you have watched my video. You see, this purpose of life statement is very simple, but the implication is very deep, you know. It implies into all these different psychological aspects, you know. It's very deep, but so underappreciated. I'm very sad, you know. To me, this purpose of life realization is one of the biggest paradigm shift and the biggest breakthrough and the biggest enlightenment of my life. You know, I realized it, you know. Nobody taught me that. So to me, it was mind-blowing when I realized it, you know, that the implication is so deep and wide, but so underappreciated, you know. Wow. Yeah, exactly. See, a lot of people look at me and they say, of course you have no stress, you have money, you're living a dream life, of course. No. If I give you my life, you'll be stressed out like crazy. If I give you my life, what does it mean? You're chased away from your home country by hate media. You come to a country with you're forced to go to a country with very high COVID and still have to try to solve the problem of getting a long-term visa here. And after you surmount that already difficult problem, you have to try to survive day to day with a COVID infested environment, and then still try to get a vaccine when you're not even a citizen. And then you still have one of the most stressful job in the world, the stock market, and you don't have any friends, any family for emotional support. You get your own vaccine, you get the vaccine, you are pain here and there, you got nobody to complain to, and yet you still need to keep your money making systems, your websites, everything running. Hey, you think it's not stressful? I probably live the most stressful life in the world, you know? But the only reason why I'm not stressed up is all this spiritual practice. If not, I should have given up or gone crazy. So yeah, if there's no further questions, thank you guys for joining me for my Friday morning coffee again. Join me next week for the coffee talk again, and join me tomorrow for my live meditation session. 안녕.